this is actually kind of funny, but like, why do I look like your child? Is that one,
Okay.
like, is this more sinky?
Yeah,
Let's
it's more,
try.
yeah.
Let's try. That's much better.
That is much better.
You just heard me blowing my nose in the high definition. Should we come up with a plan?
Nah, let's just wing it. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Paige.
And this is Two Pearls in a Pod.
Woohoo! Welcome.
It's been a while since we have been together and filmed a regular podcast.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've seen each other.
Yes, it's actually like little tears in the back of my eyes when I saw Sarah at the door. It's been a really long time.
Actually, no, I felt the same. I was like, don't be weird.
Don't be weird. I was thinking the same thing. Don't be weird. Just be cool.
Weird.
Be chill.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I've been on holiday and now I'm back and we can resume regular programming.
That's true. Yeah, we fell a little bit behind because normally we like to be quite organised and ahead with our scheduling, but you know, there's only so much that you can make and talk about in advance.
Yeah.
So here we are.
And how much we fit into our kind of regular lives and things.
Totally.
But
look forward, I guess, to us being able to make stuff a little bit more consistently. Oh, other news. I don't know if anyone cares, but I moved house as well.
Huge!
Which is really huge for two reasons. Firstly, it's a rental, so it's not that exciting, but I've moved house and that's exciting or new in itself. But I'm now only 12-minute drive away from Sarah, which is like a huge improvement from when I was living with my parents and having to travel, 40 minutes or something. So
I am the
life is just better.
I know that you're the beneficiary of like having a place to live, but I am the other beneficiary because you're so close now and like we can just spend so much more time together.
It's so good. And guess what? We pass on the way to each other's houses.
Maker.
Our local yarn store is like right in between the two of us. How perfect.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about.
We should. Let's start by saying that we are on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation and we are incredibly grateful to be here.
Very grateful.
Next thing is that we've got microphones.
Yes,
because
we're
legitimate and and hopefully they work and hopefully I don't knock mine too much as someone who's unable to sit still normally. I can't make any promises, but we'll see how we go.
Same. It's going to be a work in progress. So this is trial run 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I feel like we should start, and I've just said we shouldn't have a plan. Let's start with what we're wearing.
Yeah, let's start, I think, with that. So I am wearing an oldie but a goodie. This is, I've already forgotten the name. It's not the Louvre sweater.
Balloon?
The balloon sweater. It is the balloon sweater by Petit knit. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is like the second jumper I ever knitted. It was before I really understood gauge and things, and it's come out of storage, so it's like really crushed, so sorry about that. But super soft. I've made it out of my Alpaca in their maroon colour. They don't have a whole bunch of different colours, so everything will be in the description below anyway. But yes, it's in their 8-ply Maya, which is Alpaca, super soft, held together with Rowan Kidsilk Haze, similarly in like their Bordeaux colour. And as I mentioned, everything will be below. It was before I knew that you could buy yarn from different stores and that there were different brands of Kidsilk Haze or like Kidsilk Mohair kind of yarn. I just whacked the microphone, sorry. But in saying that, it's really nice. I really love the colour and it's quite oversized. I knitted it in a size medium and I did it on 4mm needles, which was before I knew that I was a really tight knitter. So it's extremely dense and extremely warm.
Oh my God.
And it's very heavy. However, it is perfect for the weather because, guys, guess what? The weather we've been praying for has finally hit. It is now cold. It's like 10 or 12 degrees in Melbourne today.
It's so like crisp and cold and fresh out. It is such a nice day. This is the class. You look so put together and classy in this. I think the neckline is stunning.
It's my colours.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
It's deep autumn.
Yes, correct.
Anyway, so I'm nice and cozy. What about you? I want to hear about what you're wearing. Yeah, let's go.
This is my camel cardigan.
I love it. It's beautiful.
So I will talk about the pattern, then I'll talk about the yarn. The pattern is the April cardigan by Petit Knit. this is not the first time I've made it. It's a classic, you know, it's perfect. The yarn that this is made with is a 100% camel yarn from Cardiff Cashmere.
Yeah, very luxe.
This was yarn that was gifted by Cardiff Cashmere to make this project in collaboration with an Australian yarn supplier called Yarnacopia. But it was just an opportunity, I think, to try some yarn that is not super common, is not like that well known, but is absolutely life-changing. Like, I'm so into this yarn.
I want to know more.
I can't even talk about it.
Tell me more.
So this is the undyed colour, because this is the colour of the camels.
Shut up. You know I love undyed yarn. Like, it just makes it more special.
This yarn only comes in one colourway, which is the undyed natural colourway. So you can't, like, they don't dye any colours. They just like celebrate the beautiful colour of the camel.
It kind of reminds me of like, yeah, I don't know, when you get like Australian yarns like alpacas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when that's quite special too, but yeah.
It's really, really beautiful. This yarn, I think, is the ultimate summer yarn.
Ooh.
Okay, hear me out.
It feels summery.
It
feels dry.
Light. It is dry. It is soft. It is not fluffy. It is really, really light.
It's not fluffy, but it's got enough halo that it's not like a cotton.
You're right.
It still looks like it still fills in the gaps a little bit, which I like. I don't like summer yarns when they're just like you can see every little bit of the stitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean because it is like it's a furry fibre, so you get a little bit of that.
That's the word I was looking for.
Furry?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
But I think the thing I dislike about cotton and like other like plant-based fibres is they're really heavy.
Yeah.
Generally.
And they stretch out a lot.
And they stretch, but this has like it's really light and lofty. Love a bit of loft. And it's just, I think this is what I want to be wearing on like cooler summer days, like mid like shoulder season days, because it's really light and kind of it's just perfect.
It's gorgeous.
And so I think this is probably, and I would really like encourage anyone who can get access to some camel to give it a try as a autumn, spring, summer kind of knit, because it is.
Yeah.
It's good for those days.
Yeah, 100%. So good for layering.
It is a great layering.
And then the natural sort of colourway of it means that it would be, because it's so neutral, like you could layer it with different pieces as well.
Camel like is a popular colour for a reason, and this just feels really special. Oh God, sorry. This just feels really special to have a like 100% camel piece. It feels really luxurious, and for like a classic cut, like I'm so obsessed.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Sorry if I ruined the moment.
No, look, nothing could derail me talking about how much I love this. You can do it.
Just a warning, I often sneeze in threes.
All right, we'll all hang out for number 3.
I think it's also Mohair.
Oh, you always get a bit sniffly around Mohair.
Yeah.
Shame that you love it so much.
I only knit if it's got something fluffy, and it's always Mohair. I'm being really congested saying like it's the sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Do it for the fashion.
Everyone probably thinks I just always sound congested, but it's actually just whenever I'm wearing my knits.
I made this when I was traveling. Like I finished this when I was traveling.
Yeah.
So I was away for 3 weeks, and I knew that the last week was going to be the week that was coldest, or that was going to be the area that was coldest. And so I packed this half finished, and I knitted it on the plane. And look, it was high stakes because this was the only jumper I brought.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, sorry. Just appreciated fully what you said. We are not the same person.
I mean, I only ever travel with carry-on.
Yeah.
So my rationale was that I'd have all of the like I was traveling for like, it took me from Melbourne, I went to Colombia. It took, I think, about 30 hours to get there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, maybe that's being dramatic. Over 24 hours. And so I knew I had a lot of time. And my theory was I'll have time to finish this before I get to a point where I need to wear it.
Yeah.
And it paid off. It worked great. This was really good for travel because it's light and it squishes down. And then I got to the capital. I got to Bogota where I was going for a work conference, and I could wear it at the conference.
That's so cool.
The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is I think I made it too long because it was so pleasurable to knit with that I overshot. And it was on the flight there. And I couldn't try it on because I was obviously crammed in my little window seat, like tucked away. And the last thing I want to do is like try on a cardigan.
Yeah.
So it's quite a bit longer than I would like.
Oh yeah. Is it though?
It's like it's like this far past my hip. I don't know if I can.
I mean, I feel like that's a problem that we never have.
Like
Maybe
that's my hip, and like I just.
But are you mad about it?
I don't know.
Like, would you just wear it as like a slightly different look?
I think I would because I don't think.
Oh, I heard hesitation. I think I would.
I think so. I did the button band, and I didn't do a sewn bind off on the button band because I kind of expected to rip out the button band.
But can I also say that button band looks really neat? I wouldn't do a sewn bind off, seeing how beautiful that button band looks.
Given I did a sewn bind off on the bottom and it looks really
average. Like even before you said that, I thought, wow, that looks really neat.
Look at this, cutting corners and it paying off. This is I don't know if this is going to work.
It's really neat.
It's really neat. And I just like did it in pattern, like knit the knits and purl the pearls.
I reckon, you know what? Sewn bind off, overrated.
Oh, I've come full circle, I feel like, in the last 2 years. Because when I look at it on the sleeves, it's like, it's fine, but it's nothing special. Anyway, I don't know. And so I'm kind of like, do you know what actually inspired me to do this?
Yeah.
Is I made the Eva cardigan by Petit Knit.
Yes.
And that just says, just cast off because you've got a lot of neckband stitches.
Yeah.
Just like it says do it all in knit. Don't even do it in pattern. It looks great.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing that more and more. What I have also been doing though is like the Italian bind off where you actually like do the setup rows beforehand.
I have never done a setup row.
Okay, actually though, life changing because it adds like a little bit of extra bulk and structure for the sewn bits to go over.
Fair.
And actually now I'm only one of two people. I only either do like the shortcut just this way,
clean and simple.
I do Italian
full, yeah.
And I recommend it. I reckon try it next time and you'll notice.
Well, I just did some setup rows because I was going to do it for my next whip.
I feel like it makes a big difference.
I had a groundbreaking moment with this that I just remembered. You taught me that, you know, when you get that little bubble in the first row of your rib.
Yeah.
And so you taught me
go down the needle.
Do one round of knits in your needle size that you're going to do the ribbing in before you start the ribbing.
Yeah. I know, life changing.
And
it's like such an obvious thing.
It's such an obvious thing because I'm always like, why do I get a little bubble like in that first row, and it really irritates me. And then you were just like, just do a round of knits first.
Yeah. I would like to say that I found that myself. I didn't. I did the test knit for Flaminia for the Sandro pullover and she recommended it. And I realised, like of course that would fix the issue. Yeah.
I'm so happy that I've forgotten about it. And it was only when you said that I'm like, I remember something you taught me and now I'm doing it for everything.
Yeah.
Very into it.
Good.
But
it's very neat. It's very beautiful.
April cardigan. I'm obsessed.
I love.
I might also just say as well, I'm wearing a new sewn object as well.
Yeah, no, please talk about it because I have also been admiring the neckline on that.
This is the square neck tee by the Friday Pattern Company.
Ooh.
This is about the third or fourth time I've made this pattern. It's like a simple, like little cap sleeve, square neck, really basic tee. You can get it out of, like, if you get a wide enough cut of material, you can get it out of like less than a metre of fabric.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's just like a really like classic, simple cotton, like woven cotton tee that I really love. And I know I'm a real sucker for a square neckline. So,
I love a square neckline too. I think it looks like a bit different.
Yeah, I like it because I think it's a bit vintage. Like it's a little bit, bit classy.
Yeah.
But this is using a Indian block print by Merchant and Mills.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Which is just, I love Merchant Mills fabric.
Yeah, I know
and
you
I
do.
love
I even sew and I know you're obsessed.
And I love an Indian block print cotton. So like, so much to love. I feel like this top is giving rat lifts from White Lotus season 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Which I now understand the reference for because I binged and watched the whole of White Lotus.
Thank God.
Finally. caught up to civilization.
But yeah, basically they only ever wear navy and white. So
yeah,
I'm ready to ready to fit in the family from a fashion point of view.
Good clarification.
But yes, this is my double finished object.
Beautiful. I love it.
What's next? Show me some whips.
I don't have any finished objects, but I have a lot of whips. Classic me. This one is an almost finished object. So space. Guys, this is a project that just keeps on giving. How sick are you guys of hearing about this one? This is the Other Loops Twist Loop top. I've knitted it in Knitting for Olive, Merino, 4-ply, It's in the colour putty? No, powder. Marzipan. It's in the colour Marzipan. As always,
I know
everything
too much about
down in the description below. I've kind of finished it.
It's looking mighty finished.
It's okay. Here's the thing. It's finished. I haven't tried it on yet. It's finished. That's stressing you out already. I can tell. It's finished. I used 2 balls of the Knitting for Olive Merino, thinking I only had 2 balls. Would you believe? Of course, as soon as I finished it, I found a 3rd ball. Anyway, I actually think once I block it, the length will be okay, and I've left enough yarn just to bind off the top, like on the inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I started doing it on the back, and I just wanted to see how neat it is, and the answer is very neat. Love.
It's so satisfying.
The only thing that annoys me is I don't know if you can see at the bottom. See how the twist is like right at the bottom? That's quite dissatisfying to me, but I'm not passionate enough to go back and undo it. So I'm just going to keep it as is, block it, and then do you hate that?
I mean,
she hates it.
Is it the right length?
I don't know yet. So my thought was I was going to block it and everything, try it on, and then decide what I think. Because options would be undo it and just make it just the rib and not have a 3rd twisty twist. If it's not long enough, then break into the 3rd ball and then make it longer. The other thing I'm concerned about is that the armholes are going to be too big, because I actually made like a small size, but the armholes look quite big compared to the rest of the garment. So this is I need a block, try on.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of speculation going on here.
And then go from there. So is it finished? Not really. Also, you can see, I don't know if you can tell here. Remember how I was like, I should undo the first row and then, because I had left it on stitches for a long time. I was like, I should undo 1 row and go back. Of course, I didn't do that because I'm lazy. Also, guys, this was really chaotic when I picked it up. It had live stitches just hanging everywhere. Like these were kind of half picked up and done. This was probably I'm
impressed that you persevered.
Limiting step was the armholes, picking up the armholes and doing the I-cord bind off. But I did it.
That's great.
And then I didn't. But I didn't undo that, but I think once I block it, it'll block out. Anyway, so that's that. It's now far too cold to wear this, but I think great for layering. I think it'll be cute under all my cardigans that I'm making.
That will actually look really great.
Yeah, so.
Looking great.
Yeah, so that's that one.
Like
just a short and sweet chat about that.
Good on you for persevering.
Thank you. Sorry, my nose is just going to do this the whole video.
I'm nearly finished this row and I want to show this when I finish the row. So you talk about something else.
About the next one? Okay.
And then by the time that you're done, I'll be ready to show this.
It's all right. I have enough whips to make up for it.
Great.
The next one is a test knit.
Okay. This is what I've been waiting for.
This is the one that Sarah's been wanting to ask. This is
why we had to film
see the chaos.
We were like chatting, because we just needed to talk about things.
It's actual chaos. Everything's just fallen. No. It's okay. You wait. You just need to give me a moment to pick up the pieces. Okay. This is a checkered sweater vest, test knit for Andrea Gorn.
I'm so happy you're doing this. When I saw the ad for this, I saw the call for this test knit, and I was like, this is PAIGE. This is PAIGE in a garment.
Me. Of course, I'm doing it in. Oh, I just hit the microphone. Sorry. Of course, I'm doing this in bright colours because it's me. And this is what it's looking like so far. You might be wondering, why does it look like that, Paige? Why are the checks all messed up? That's because look.
I don't see it.
This is the top of the vest. Look how these are squares, Sarah, and this is a massive rectangle. Right. And look at this bit in the middle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, you understand.
I see it now.
I think I'll talk about the pattern first. So this is a pattern that is knit flat with an intarsia to make all the checks.
Looks incredible.
It looks great. It actually looks like quite neat and it feels quite nice. And this is like pre-blocking. I will say the yarn choice for me was really difficult because I really wanted something fluffy. I really wanted like a mohair vibe.
You really wanted that congested energy.
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to sound like I have no patency in my nasal cavities. But also I wanted it to blend together nicely. And I wanted red and pink. And I couldn't find anything in like a worsted kind of weight that was fluffy enough in the colours I wanted to be able to knit this. And I tried with all my heart to not knit with a strand of mohair and a strand of just like 8-ply or something because with intarsia, your back is going to look like this. And each time, like there are 6 boxes across, which means 6 running balls of yarn.
Yeah.
And then 6 quickly turns into 12.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, because I couldn't find a solution, I ended up doing it and I ended up just winding the balls together. But it is a little bit of a mess to knit with. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be, though, in saying that. It does get a little bit tangled, but not impossibly.
Yeah.
I have found the pattern so far super, super easy to follow, super easy to work with, and really addictive because all you want to do is finish a block.
It looks so good. Like I can so imagine like the satisfaction
satisfying.
of changing colours.
I knitted this up so quick.
Yeah.
The thing I will say is I didn't really think about, this is a me problem. I didn't really think about it when I was picking the yarn. They say to buy like contrast colour and main colour, and your contrast colour in this case is the pink and the main colour is the red because the red's going to be the trims. It's knitted flat and the back, it's an option whether you want to knit the back with checks as well or if you want to just knit the back plain.
I hadn't thought of that. I thought it would be checks. But
I've elected to knit it plain because it's the lazy way and I just want the finished object. But I didn't think about the fact that actually in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have wanted the back pink.
You would or you wouldn't?
I think I'd want the back pink and then to keep the trims in red. But I bought all the yarn to make the back red because that's sort of what the pattern said. I didn't really think it through. So I'm in 2 minds whether I go back and buy more yarn and just try and de-stash the rest. But anyway, I need to finish the front panel anyway before I make those decisions. But I'd like to hear from you guys what you think. Like I can see how like overall it would look more cohesive to have it in red because of the trims. But equally, when I think about me wearing it, looking at from the back, like this red could be quite intense as like just a full red.
I feel like the lighter colour, I would want the lighter colour in the back.
Yeah.
In the same
with
way.
With the trims would look quite cool, like
in
the red trims.
I agree.
Damn it, that was like exactly what I didn't want you to say, if you know what I mean. I was hoping everyone would say, guys, like, no, this is definitely the obvious option. But okay, maybe in that case I'll go back and buy some more. It's just annoying because I'm knitting it in these 4. I'll put the colorways all in the description below because they're all numbers. But this is Double Sunday held with Tynn Silk Mohair. And the reason is just mostly because they had the perfect colors that I wanted that matched together. And it's soft, and I knew I would get like a nice chunky like worsted weight kind of feel by combining an 8-ply with their slightly woollier Tynn Silk Mohair. And I'm really happy with the combination. It's perfect on the needle size. So she's recommended a 4.5mm needle. I always go up half, so I'm on a 5mm needle, which is perfect. Sarah's laughing because I had a moment before where I wasn't sure if I didn't write down the needle size, of course, but I've like figured it out and I'm pretty sure I was a 5mm needle. Anyway, it's working out the perfect texture. But because it's Sandnes Garn's quite hard to get in Australia, I had to purchase online from like 2 different yarn stores as it was to try and get the combination of colours.
Yeah. And now you've got to buy more.
And now I've got to buy more. So I've just like paid a whole ton in shipping just like constantly. And then I'm going to be left with all this red. But whatever, can figure it out later. So yeah, anyway, that's where we're up to with that.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
I guess in terms of the mistakes I've made, I think I got so like hyper fixated on the decreases, like the decreases for the armholes and stuff, that I forgot to change colour. So I'm going to have to go back and undo that. And seeing as I'm doing that, I was just going to duplicate stitch that bit.
Oh, yeah.
But now that I'm going to go back to here anyway.
What's another
Well,
few
actually,
rows?
I don't. I could only go up to there. But no, I kind of feel like I'm just going to go back and undo it because it wasn't that bad to do anyway.
It looks like it'll go quick.
Yeah, it's addictive.
It's going to be spectacular.
I've just got like so many like scrap chunks of this yarn.
Yeah.
It's probably the only pain.
Yeah.
And it's not travel friendly. It's definitely
absolutely not.
on a couch.
I'm reminded of when I did that yoke jumper.
Yes.
And that was a strand of fingering and 2 strands of mohair.
I remember, yeah.
And at one point, you're working 3 colours in the same row.
Yeah.
So I had...
Disaster, you've got so many.
I had 9 balls of yarn going. So I basically had to do it on my bed and like sit on my bed and like lay them all out in front of me. But it was worth it. Well, it's always worth it.
Yeah, it is. And Andrea Gorn actually sent this really cool, like within the pan, it's got a link to a tutorial on like different tutorials for intarsia, like little intarsia tips.
Yeah.
And one of them is like how she makes bobbins.
Oh, yeah.
And how you make them on your hand so that like they just pull out as like a single strand, like nice and neatly. So I definitely recommend watching that video and doing that technique if you're doing intarsia like this, where you've got lots of chunks of wool.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Have you finished your row?
I have. I'm
Yay,
ready.
perfect.
I'm ready. Okay. I'm also doing a test knit.
Love.
I think at some point recently I said I wasn't going to do test knits but then I saw the call from Ozetta for the port cardigan.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
And I think it was the yellow. I think it was the butter yellow that like just like took over my brain, and I was like, I want that. And so I applied and then unexpectedly got it while I was still overseas. And I was like, oh, I better start this as soon as I get home.
I think that's like one of my bucket list like things is doing an Ozetta test knit. I don't know why.
I feel pretty, I was pretty surprised. Like I kind of,
it feels bougie. It feels like the real deal.
I didn't think I'd get it. So when I got it, I was like, oh God, now I have to do it. Anyway, the port cardigan is a top-down round neck cardigan, really simple, really classy. And oh gosh, this microphone thing is going to take a little bit of getting used to, sorry.
That's okay.
And I'm doing it, the kind of the main feature detail is these little like ribs at the arm side, which I just think is just like, it's just subtle, classy. And I'm doing it in the most impractical colour in the world, which is white.
Stunning though. I
am using stash yarn, which is
in
stash without an intended purpose for quite a while.
Love that.
I'm using 1 strand of, I'll get them out. Oh, that's where that is. Okay. So my base is Drops Alpaca.
Love.
In the colour 1101. And my mohair is the Sandnes Garn Tynn Silk mohair in the colour 1012. I was like, I had this in stash for quite a while because I was inspired by Rebecca of the Crayabeya, who has previously used this combination, and she said it's good because the alpaca gives softness and drape, but the Tynn Silk mohair gives fluff, but also a bit of structure because it's got wool in it.
Yeah.
And I just really liked the theory of combining specific yarns for specific qualities to create a specific fabric.
I actually wanted to do that exactly for those very reasons for my vest, but I could not get hold of an 8-ply alpaca in an appropriate colour.
Yeah. And so it's finally being used, and my quest to like get things out of stash and reduce my stash size is like working out very well.
Very good.
I'm not super convinced on the combo.
Really?
Like, I don't know, like sometimes I'm obsessed with it and other times it doesn't feel as luxe as I thought it might. I don't know.
I think it's just the woolliness of the Tynn Silk mohair.
I actually think it's the woolliness.
Probably what's messing with you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Because I guess the ratio, because it's a 4-ply alpaca, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ratio, I guess, of the amount of Tynn Silk, because feel this one, for instance. Yeah, but that's just because it's an 8-ply, not a 4-ply base.
True.
So I think that's why it feels like you feel the Tynn Silk more in there.
You're exactly, yes, that does make a lot of sense. But I'm just really enjoying it anyway. Like, it's lovely.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I think blocking, like I've steam blocked it a little bit and it improves a lot with steam blocking. My one regret so far is that when I was swatching, I didn't I didn't practice the ribbing.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I did the back first, and you'll see that my ribbing is really like, I didn't do twisted rib or anything, and it looks dreadful, right? It looks really underwhelming. You can't even see it.
It doesn't look dreadful, but you just can't tell.
You just can't tell.
Yeah, it
and
blends.
so I'd already done a lot at that point, and I didn't want to rip it back.
Yeah.
And it's the back, so I decided it would just be covered by my hair. But by the time I got to, I think it was like the bottom of the rib, or the bottom of the back, or as I was picking up for the front, I started like trialing doing twisted stitches for the knit stitches. And I think, and it looks really good. So what I would recommend if you do end up doing this pattern or anything, I think this is something I should do for myself, is if I'm going to swatch, I should swatch even just a sampler of any like pattern or ribbing or finishing details.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just like, I guess I'm doing a swatch to check gauge, but really I should also be doing a swatch to check
how it looks
and the design and like the features.
Yeah.
So that's my like learning point from this.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
But
like,
yeah.
I think it does make a difference.
Yeah. So this is due soon.
So neat.
Thanks. This is due soonish, so I'm gotta like get a motor on with
A
this.
little hustle.
Yeah, but it's I think it'll be really nice once it's done.
Yeah. It already looks great.
But yeah.
Very nice.
But this is my main whip at the moment.
Your
So
main
I will
whip.
continue to work on this as you show me what's next.
Speaking of, you want to see what things look like before you start the object. You guys know one of my goals for this year was to swatch before doing every project. It's been working out well. Actually, lies. I've swatched for everything except for the checkered thing.
Sorry, the one test knit you haven't swatched for.
No, I've swatched
Sorry,
for
that
other
sounded
test
really
knits.
judgy.
Yeah, wow. It was more because it's knitted flat and like it was just a bit wider. I was just sort of like, I'll use that as my
your
swatch.
Okay.
Um,
Anyway, apart from that, sorry, I'll just like take my judgment.
no, truly. I did think about doing it for this, but also because I was going to be doing Intasha anyway, and it's like it was quite a lot to do Intasha for a swatch already. I was like, I'm just going to use the piece of fabric that would be the front as my swatch.
Yeah.
I guess you have to be willing to undo it if it's not right.
High risk, high reward.
Which it was fine. But like for instance, this, I did a really giant swatch for this. I ended up undoing the whole swatch because I was playing yarn chicken and I needed the yarn. I wanted to knit, you guys might remember this yarn. This is some yarn that I bought when I was in South America, when I was in Peru. It's 100% alpaca, it's hand dyed and hand spun, and I was really excited about it. And I had 200 grams of it, and I wanted to knit something really special with it, like a garment, but like a whole piece, like the whole thing would be with this, like this being the feature, I suppose. And because it's hand spun, I didn't know the meterage or anything for it. So it felt a bit risky already. I thought, okay, well, I'm definitely going to be doing something like a cropped vest to be able to achieve this. And I thought that I'd hold it together with something just so that, like some mohair, just so that it would be, like nicely filled in and a bit more cohesive, but equally to give it a little bit more bulk so
and
that it could,
yeah,
like get the most out of the yarn. So I thought, okay, we're going to be doing some sort of vesty slipover situation. The initial plan was to do the Ingrid Slipover by Petit Knit because I thought that would look really cool in this colour. And I did a giant swatch of it using this, like the pattern. And I'll insert a picture in the video so that you can see what that looks like. And I was so set on this, to be making this. And then when I looked at the swatch, even after blocking it, it just didn't look right. And I think it's because this is quite a textured yarn. And with the texture on texture, it just kind of looked a little bit messier than I wanted.
Yeah.
So I decided to scrap that idea and do a non-textured vest of sort. And I looked on Ravelry for ages and decided I wanted to do the Amy Slipover, which is also by Sandnes Garn, which is also a pain to get my hands on. It was a pain to get my hands on, but eventually managed to do so. Anyway, it did like a just regulation swatch and looks great. I'm holding it together with, this is the Mohair from Bûches.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I was very much inspired by, you got gifted some.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
A different thing that we'll be talking about at a different point. But anyway, the colour was just perfect to go with this yarn. So that's why I specifically chose it. And also just, I knew it felt really nice from touching Sarah's one. So, and I just wanted to try a different mohair. So that's what we're working with and what we're holding together. And it's created this beautiful fabric. Now this, as I said, Amy Slipover, I have made a lot more progress than I anticipated. So
that's something of an understatement, lady. Oh my God.
okay, guys, it's chaotic because I'm doing the neckband. So just try to ignore that. And it hasn't been like blocked or anything, but this is the...
Mind out your microphone.
Oh, sorry, I keep doing that. Okay, this is the Amy, this is the Amy Slipover situation. I love the colour. I think it looks so great. Very happy with it. Yeah, I've just followed it exactly to pattern. I think I might have gone up half a needle size, but all the details will be on my Ravelry and down in the description below as well. But I think it looks really cool.
Looks amazing.
Now, there's always a but, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's a one size fits all pattern. And I probably, had I really paid attention to that fact in advance, I probably would have made it a little bit more narrow just to save on yarn, because I knew I would be playing yarn chicken, but I'm like hugely playing yarn chicken.
I've got to confess.
What?
I'm surprised that you got as much out of this as you did. I didn't even think you'd finish the body.
Oh, really?
I was just like, I just don't think there's enough yarn there for the Amy Slipover, like that neck and the big...
Why didn't you tell me this? No.
Oh, I didn't? Sorry.
No. Girls are about to let me do a whole Ingrid Slipover, which would have been so
I
much
would
more.
never have said Ingrid Slipover.
I feel like we talked about
Did
it.
we? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
I would
pretty
have
sure
in my
I was
head.
watching it here. Oh well, who cares? It's fine. We got there. We even
made
finished
it.
the bottom rib fine.
Huge.
I have this much left. I started doing the neck and then realized, okay, yep, I'm definitely not going to have enough. So I went to I went to Handspun.
Oh, yeah.
And took this with me and just went around the store and tried to find the closest match that I could. And I found actually a pretty decent match, because if you look at this ribbing is half and half.
Is it?
Yep.
I actually can't tell where it starts.
It starts here because it's a tweed yarn that I've picked up. And you can see the little
Huge.
tweed flex.
Well played.
So the match is actually pretty good.
I'm impressed.
And to blend it further for that bit, because this is a little bit thinner anyway, I'm actually holding 2 of these strands to one of this, whereas this was just 1 and 1.
Yeah.
And so it helps blend it even more. So it's working out really well.
It's working out.
I feel like an absolute genius. I'm really proud of myself.
I'm
Can you
actually
tell?
like dazzled.
So this is Isager Tweed.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the colour lemon. I would never ordinarily pick up this yarn, like just looking at it in terms of just on the rack, because it just doesn't seem like it would be something that I'd gravitate towards. But it works really perfectly for this project. So love that.
Good save.
So what I've decided to do is do like the inside bit, because this is supposed to be knit like 20 centimeters or something.
Oh yeah, it's like really generous. Yeah.
So the bit that's going to be on the inside, just to minimize as much as I can, I'm doing with this, like I'm doing like 10 centimeters, like I did like 1 centimeter of the other one, and then like 10 centimeters, well, I'm doing like 10 centimeters of this. Then I'm going to swap back to that and do the rest just to finish it off. And then the arm ties, I'll end up probably having to do all of this. However, then I remembered, oh my gosh, I also have these 2 giant swatches. So I'm going to undo the giant swatches and use them.
You haven't used the swatches?
No, I forgot about the swatches, and they're giant because there's like the Ingrid Slipover swatch, and then there's like the regulation swatch. Yeah. Oh my God. Little did I know I was using this precious yarn. So I'll go back, but actually I might even keep one swatch because it honestly blends so well.
Yeah.
And the little swatch, like for instance, can just sit on my board.
Especially as well, like the bit
The
that you're going to
ties.
be using this for is for like ties and stuff. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's less visible, I'd say.
Exactly. Like it's
Yeah.
being knotted up and like no one's paying attention to
Yeah.
that.
That's going to look so lovely.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, especially once it's blocked. It's going to look so good. I love looking at it in like pictures and stuff. I think it looks really cool. So yeah, that's the plan for that.
Lovely, lovely. More cashmere time?
More cashmere time.
So as part of some of the kit that was sent from Cardiff Cashmere, I was just like in a real quest to like sample all of the non-conventional cashmere options that they have available. So I said I wanted to try some of the Brushlight, which is like 80%, 82% cashmere, 18% silk. So it's kind of got this silk, like wiggly silk core.
It's gorgeous.
And it is beautiful.
Can I hold one while we talk?
Yes, you
Thank
can hold that. And so I wanted to do like a gloves and scarf set.
Beautiful.
I'll talk about the glove first. Where's that?
It's so luxe.
So for the gloves, I am doing penny gloves because
Obviously.
if it's not broken, why attempt to fix it? And so I've done one, and I thought at first this yarn was like too luxurious for penny gloves. Like I thought like it's meant to be more like hard wearing, but now that I've finished it, I am very ready to have a second one in my life and very ready to wear them. Like really, really beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And this length is like, it's a pretty good length beyond the thumb.
Yeah.
And this took like 10 grams.
Oh, so economical.
So like
You could get a full set easy.
Oh,
in
out of one ball. Definitely.
That's such good, like, high yield info to know.
Yes, that one ball will definitely get you a pair of penny, and not even just like penny gloves, which
not
start
like
here.
you're really trying
to eke it out,
Yeah.
which I've done with other yarns. But because these balls are like have a lot of length on them because they're so light, for 25 grams, I got like a good length. I think in the past what I've done is I've start here, knit up and then knit down to maximize length. But because in this instance, I've got a few extra balls, I just like winged it and it worked out. So you can like really just
stunning. Yeah. Oh my, it's so light that like I was holding it, but I didn't realize
your brain hadn't registered.
It was like my brain had this thing where I was like, do I not have sensation in my hands anymore? Like it feels like nothing. It's that soft. It feels like air.
Yeah. So
actually, it's interesting that you say that it's like too luxurious for penny gloves, because for me, penny gloves are perfect for a luxurious yarn because like it lets the yarn shine.
True.
Because it's a plain, it's a stockinette kind of thing.
True. I think I'm just more like utility, like your hands like do lots of stuff, and so like the yarn might get worn out.
Fair, but also I'm like, you want something soft in your hands because you're touching it all the time.
It is absolutely the most pleasurable sensation. Like,
I mean, they're not your bike riding gloves. Shut up, you're not using. No, shut up.
My other ones,
no, you're not.
my other ones I'd wear.
Your
on
other
my bike,
ones, yes, but not those
not
ones.
these ones.
Yeah, thank
These ones
goodness.
are-
Oh my gosh, Sarah, you stressed me out for a second.
My bike trip is not that long.
It's still a no from me.
Okay, fine.
Because you're on like a rubber thing. No.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll see. I'll finish the other one first. And then I wanted to make a matching scarf to go with it. My first, have I got both? Okay, so I wanted to not do a soapy scarf.
Yeah.
That was like, don't be basic. There's nothing wrong with that. I love it. But like sometimes I need to do something, I need to branch out a bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, fair.
And so I was like, thought I would try the Torren scarf, which is a pattern by Rebecca of the Crayobayer.
Oh, sure.
It's beautiful. It's like, anyway, this is the pattern.
Guys, that is beautiful. Okay, so why aren't we doing this?
Because that took me about 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have that in me either. Why can't I?
It's hard to see. Basically, it's this kind of like lattice dip stitch pattern, which is incredibly beautiful. It's quite challenging to get started like it's really hard to, I cannot imagine how she would have like writing this out was really confusing, and me getting my head around it, like I could like feel my brain melting with the complexity of understanding this pattern. Now that I've understood it, I feel like it would go faster, but I was making it and I was like, I am putting in a truckload of work for something that I'm not convinced I would get like the full use of.
Yeah.
Like I'm still going to just scrunch this up and tie it around my neck. And so I think that this beautiful pattern will get lost. And so I don't think it's worth the effort for this.
Yeah.
She's talked about doing this pattern in a jumper, and I will be all over that when she does it in a jumper, because I think seeing this beautiful lattice pattern on a jumper, I'd be very, very keen. But I just decided for a scarf, it's not worth the effort.
Sure.
So this is kind of like my swatch / attempt for the jumper when it one day exists. Yeah. That's my theory. So I'm glad I did it. It just took a long time. And then I gave up and I started a Sophie scarf instead.
Yeah, fair.
Which I don't regret, and I'm glad I tried, but this is where my heart is, because this took a quarter of the time that this did.
Yeah, I feel it. Oh my gosh, again, my hand's like, where is it? I'm searching.
So it's going to be a really luxurious set. I've got 3 balls, I think. So it's not going to be a super big one, but it's not going to be like the tiny little one. It's going to be like medium size. Yeah. Goldilocks zone.
You know what's funny? I'm warming to the tiny one. I never thought I'd be that person.
You used to give tiny ones so much.
Used to absolutely hate the tiny one. I actually quite like it now.
Such growth. Yeah. Such growth. I'm not sure I'm chic.
Like imagine with my outfit right now, a little tiny one.
I'm not sure I'm chic enough, but I see this for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're chic enough. Don't say that. Anyway,
this is a basic but beautiful combo, and I think anywhere between 3+ balls of this would make, it's just a beautiful, beautiful set, and I'm excited for it to be in my life.
So beautiful.
But yeah, so it's been a bit of trial and error, but I've really enjoyed working with this yarn. It's stunning.
I'm dying to pick up some of that yarn actually specifically. Like I was thinking about that yarn when I saw the new Petit knit pattern that's come out, which is kind of similar to the blouse #1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear.
Yeah.
I want to still make the blouse #1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, like the light version.
Yeah.
In that yarn so badly.
And it's perfect because it's so soft. You want it close to skin.
Yes,
you want something that's essentially like neutral or like not too much positive ease. Like you wouldn't make this in it because it's you're not appreciating the yarn for what it is. But
and it's like, because it's going to be close to the skin, you want something that's really soft, and mohair can be sometimes a little bit irritating, so that would be perfect. And then the regular cashmere is a little bit too thick. So that's my dream. It's on my wish list.
The Brushlight, dark horse, but it's a good one.
I also have my yarn here and partially done with from the collaboration with Yarnacropia and Cardiff Cashmere. And I haven't made any recent progress on this, but I still wanted to share it because you've been talking a lot about yours as well. And just given that this is the month that they're doing the pre-orders, so I thought that
time is now.
It would be worthwhile to talk about now. So I've got you were talking about how you didn't want to try the regulation. Well, I did. Okay.
No, look, I think it was so that we could sample everything, and my goodness, have we sampled everything.
Fair. And that's true, yes. I've got the regulation. So the Cardiff Cashmere Classic yarn, which is an 8-ply. It's quite like a fine 8-ply, like it's on the lighter side. And it's 25 grams to 112 meters. So you get like quite a bit of length because it's so light.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of making my Alex hood. I'm still at the same point that I was the last time that I talked about it, but it's just this like beautiful, just ribbed hood situation. There's no hood on it yet. I need to graft these two together and pick up the stitches to do the hood bit.
The hood.
But just feel it. The colour Ppoppo, which is like the perfect icy cool toned grey.
You called that boring last time, that colour, and I'm not convinced that that's boring.
I said it's boring because I always pick cool toned icy grey.
Fine.
But I love a cool toned icy grey. It's just what sings out to me. I think it's because with my like warmer skin tone, I think the contrast
stunning
like shows up a little bit more. And it goes with everything. So I don't care if I'm basic, it's just who I am. I love it so much so that, you know what I realised? When I was in Paris, I bought 1 ball of Cashmere Classic, just one, because I was already buying a lot on the trip. And I was buying them actually to make a pair of penny gloves. And turns out by pure coincidence, it's also in the colour Piombo.
You bought the same colour.
I didn't realise that they were the same colour. I knew they were also grey, but they're actually
Yeah.
both the exact same colour. They're different dye lots though, so I'm going to save that ball for something different.
Oh my God, matching gloves.
Got enough of I've got enough of this to make matching gloves, and I'm going to make it not penny gloves actually, but the vision is penny gloves but ribbed. I need to find a pattern,
I'm sure that
but
exists.
I want ribbed penny glove vibe to make a little set.
Lovely.
Will be the dream. And now that it's like, I think the other thing is I put this on hold for a while and was making like slipovers and things because of the weather. I actually was working on this and I put it down and started doing the Amy slipover because of the weather. But now that it's cooler, like I'm actually motivated to pick this up again and start working on it again.
Nice.
Very exciting.
I have one more whip. Goodness, this is going to be a bumper episode.
That's all right. I think we had plenty. I've got an acquisition left after.
The last one is also from Cardiff Cashmere. I can appreciate that this is very luxurious. This is very like gifted yarn heavy.
Yes.
We will be returning to normal programming soon. This is like an anomaly and a lovely one in our lives. Last thing that I got gifted from Cardiff Cashmere in collaboration with Yarnacopia is some of this yarn, which is, I feel like I should go get the box, you know, like the box.
You haven't got Cardiff Cashmere unless you have the
like
box.
The box. Give me a sec.
The box is luck. Oh my, I guess I'm just going to go die. That's unbelievable.
Guys.
I die.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. I cannot believe how fortunate I am.
I die.
This is the Cardiff Cashmere Prime.
No, this is what I need.
Like, I'm just shaking. It's so perfect. It's so beautiful. Oh, can you see it? Can you do it? Okay, this is a lace weight Cardiff blend.
My breath just caught.
It's 68% cashmere, 32% silk, like lace weight. So like fine, just like the most beautiful thing I've ever touched.
300 meters a ball.
300 meters on a ball. I'll say this about cashmere. I really like Cardiff Cashmere. I really like their colours.
That colour is divine.
This colour makes my heart sing.
It's a beautiful like honey colour. It's very similar to this, but it's like slightly more mustardy, which I think is definitely much more your colour palette.
Yes. So this is a lace weight. I think this would be a really nice alternative if you were feeling super, super bougie instead of a mohair.
Yeah.
Because it adds a little bit of fluff, but it's not super fluffy.
Yeah. I think does
that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's not as hairy, like their fibres probably aren't as long that are coming off it.
Definitely. So it's producing like a tiny little bit of halo, but not really. I am holding 3 strands together.
No wonder it feels like so unreal.
Heaven. And I'm making the Ppoppo Jacket.
No, I don't know it.
I can't even remember who it's by. I think it might be like Agio Knit. I'll pop the details in. But the Ppoppo Jacket normally uses 3 strands of a mohair, I think.
Right.
Or like 2 strands of mohair and 1 of fingering or something. And you get this really oversized, lofty cardigan type thing.
Oh.
So like this is the back panel.
Yeah, right. Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's like cropped and it's like meant to be this like really light
this
flowy.
Just over you, you're gonna be like, you'll just fly away.
In this colour, this makes me so happy.
You might levitate actually once this is on your body.
So like this is the most luxurious thing. Like 3 strands of a luxurious yarn held together is like wild. But my God, my brain is melting. It's so special. And I'm really impressed with this yarn. And I think if you were going to do something luxurious, it'd be a good one. Also,
cost per minute, high for a hobby. As in, sorry, low for a hobby.
Yeah,
That's what I meant. Economical from that perspective.
Yeah.
It is definitely
I can't stop touching it.
Yeah, it's very luxurious, but you know.
But yeah,
you
like a really special knit. But that's everything for me.
That's everything whip-wise for me, but I do want to tell you about an acquisition as well. So I've been on the hunt to find, I really want to make a Mindy sweater so badly. I was telling you about this. I want to make it so badly, and I'm on the hunt for some yarn for it. Sarah made hers out of the matcha colour from Sandnes Garn using, was it Sunday? It was Sunday and Tynn Silk.
Sunday and Tynn Silk Mohair, yes.
Yeah. And I do love that matcha colour so much. However, I didn't want to make the exact same thing as Sarah, and I know that shouldn't play into it.
I still think we could have matched and it would have been real
but,
cute.
You know, also I do like things that are a little bit brighter. So I thought maybe I could go green and a little bit brighter. So what I ended up going for after much deliberation is some knitting. Ended up going with some knitting for olive. This is a combination that I landed with. To be completely honest, it's probably a little bit brighter than I would have liked. If I saw this in the store, I'd say yuck. But it's actually not as bright on camera as it is in real life. But actually, I think the combination, once it's knitted up, will be really nice. It's called Clover Green.
Cute.
But I think with the mohair, because the mohair is a little bit more dull.
Yeah, I think
it's also in the colour Clover Green. Yeah, I think it'll balance it out a bit more. And the mohair tends to make things look a little bit more luxurious anyway. I think my concern with this is it doesn't look luxurious in this colour.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I understand
But
that.
I think once it's together, I think it will.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going with. I bought the full quantity that I need to make the Mindy sweater for this, like out of this.
Love that.
And so we're ready to go. But I have promised myself I'm not going to cast it on until I finish off at least 2 whips.
2?
Yeah. But I'm pretty
be
close.
fair, you're home
like
stretch on
I've got
multiple.
the test knit and then this one.
Okay.
So I think I'll be.
Do you know, I remember when you were like deciding colours to buy this, I realised this is quite similar to the colour that's on the front cover of the Soft for Women book.
Yes, it is.
As soon as you bought it, as soon as you left, I was like, oh, she's going for that colour.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see the vision.
Yeah.
And I'm into it for you.
Yeah.
I see this for you.
Yeah. And also, I think just on me generally, like slightly brighter colours. I know I'm a deep autumn, but also sometimes brighter colours do tend to look a little bit better on me. So,
Great
this
choice.
is what we're doing.
Great choice.
And that's it. That's all I had.
Great. All right. That's it for me too.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's really good to be back. And
So good.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
That's cooked. That is proper.